I have now instructed the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, starting from this next year's budget, not to take our budget estimates to the Treasury. The Constitution requires that our budget estimates be taken to Parliament, to the National Assembly, sorry. The National Assembly, when it was allowed to deal with that, it gave us reasonable amounts of money. And from the National Assembly, I get very many MPs asking for courts in various places of the country, and rightly so. So when we go to the National Assembly, we will tell them, look, we need so much money to build courts in such and such and such and such places. We can't build the courts all in one year. Give us money to build courts this year in such and such places. Give us money to build courts next year in such and such places. And let me tell you, and honorable Kenyans, the judiciary does not require a lot of money to build courts in many parts of the country. If the judiciary is given a constant figure of about 5 to 6 billion shillings every year, we will have courts, in 10 years we will have courts literally everywhere in the country, and save our people the agony of traveling long distances to access justice. What is 5 billion shillings with a budget of how many trillion? I don't know. What I'm saying is, we are not demanding a lot of money. We are not asking to be given a budget equivalent, for example, to that of the Ministry of Health, because the Ministry of Health requires much more than that than we do. We are not asking to be given budget equivalent to the Ministry of Education, for example. The Ministry of Education requires much more money than that. We just need to be given reasonable amount of money so that we are able to serve our people. As I said earlier, I'm making this statement to correct some misleading statements that were made last week by the Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly and Honorable Duare, that the judiciary budget has not been cut. I think they were misled. In his statement, Honorable Duare, I was surprised, is reported to have said that the judiciary budget has not been cut and that we are playing politics. I find that interesting. The judiciary doesn't play politics. And worst of all, we could not start playing that game on a serious issue like this one. The truth of the matter is that the judiciary budget has been reduced drastically, and we have serious challenges. The budget we were given this year of about 18.857, more than a half of that goes to salaries. What remains is the development budget and the recurrent expenditure. The salaries, of course, they have not touched, but the current expenditure has been reduced by 2.9 billion shillings. That of ICT, and I mention this because of the critical aspect of ICT in the service delivery, we were given 400 million. These cuts have taken the whole of it. What that means, what these cuts mean, is that unless the cuts are reversed, we do not have money for fuel, for judges and even the treasury, the judiciary vehicles from next year. Operations of the mobile courts have been grounded to a halt. And let me tell you that those of you who don't know, there are some very, very inaccessible areas where wananchi find it extremely difficult to get to court. So we have been offering mobile court service to those stations, but we can't now do that. The Court of Appeal makes circuits to Mombasa, Nakuru, Eldoret. Now that has been brought to a halt. The litigants in those areas, please don't expect the Court of Appeal to come there until we get budget. Nyeri, because of the numbers in the Court of Appeal, we are not able to get a full court. So we are also not going to sit in Nyeri. Case backlog reduction that we had started and was moving very well, especially those cases beyond 5 years, has come to a halt. Court annexed mediation, which we rolled countrywide, and which has helped Kenya to improve on its World Bank Ease of Doing Business Index, has come to a standstill. ICT, as I told you, they have taken the whole 100% of what was allocated to us. As a result, we are unable to pay even for Wi-Fi. This has thrown the plans we had put in place for harnessing technology in total disarray. The e-filing we had started cannot go on. Electronic revenue collection is going to be hampered. And we are sorry to report that the plans that we had finalized to automate the anti-corruption courts, to speed up the hearing of corruption cases in Milimani, has now fallen a cropper. Even more critically, you know, ladies and gentlemen, that our brothers and sisters in the diaspora are the highest foreign exchange earners for this country. I have met a few of them. One time I was invited to the US to see them, and because of their important contribution to this country, I went. They gave me harrowing experiences of what they are taken through in courts, just to delay their cases so that they get tired and they don't go on. So what we had planned is to have a virtual court. And I've even spoken to our embassies in UK and Washington. We were on top of things to set up virtual courts in those stations so that the Kenyans can give evidence from where they are in the US and the UK, and we hear their cases and finalize. That one, I'm afraid, has now been put to the backyard. The budget cuts are not an isolated case. And this is why I said I want the Kenyans to know what we are going through. The judiciary has been treated and continues to be treated contemptuously. The CJ has no Mercedes car. When we applied, we were told, look, keep to the what? We don't want wastage. Keep to the minimum of 2,500 cc. It is wastage to buy a CJ, a Mercedes 500, but it is not a wastage to buy the 2 speakers of the National Assembly, Mercedes 500. Are you getting my point? That's one incident. You read recently attempts to withdraw police traffic clearance for the CJ. But that clearance was given to very junior government officers. And you are told that it was a mistake. A mistake. That's very interesting. The CJ is not accorded the respect due to his office in quite a number of state functions. CSS and PSS are cleared to enter State House before the CJ. The CJ has got to wait. The last Mashujaa day, the CJ was allowed to walk to the dais through a sidewalk. And the MC did not acknowledge his arrival, but he did it to other people. I have decided that unless I'm treated with the dignity due to my office, I will choose which of those state functions I will attend. I'm told that the VIP lounge at the JKA on the ground floor is locked, is permanently locked. I'm told it is reserved for the DP. I doubt if the DP is even aware of that. I go to the JKA and use the KQ lounge. And by the way, I enjoyed the company of the passengers I get there. We laugh and talk very well. I'm not bothered about that. My problem is this. There are times I receive very, very important visitors. I have received fellow Chief Justices coming to this country. Where do you want me to take them? When I was flying last year, I was flying with one of the CJs who came at my request as an official. On official duty, and I had to go to the KQ lounge with him because it was crowded. Somebody had to vacate a seat for him. When I go to other countries, I'm treated very well, and I wonder what happens in my own country. CJs, and not only myself, CJs are treated in the same way. Here we have, a lounge locked, and we are told, look, that one you can't access. I don't know whether we can spend so much money to build a lounge, left it there locked for years on end.